as you get more in life, there is going to be more problems. I always talk about this with my wife. I'm like, man, I look back sometimes when I had just that normal 9 to 5. I had my weekends off. I had my guaranteed 2 weeks of pay. Life was so easy back then, right? I didn't have to worry, right? Friday comes around, 5 o'clock, boom, I'm tapped out of work. I didn't have any stress. I didn't have to think about anything anymore. My job ended at that 5 o'clock, right? And I got my guaranteed vacations, and I could go on vacation, and it wasn't my responsibility to handle things when I was on vacation because I had people that could handle that for me while I was out. And, looking at it then, if I had that same mindset, I wouldn't be prepared for what it is that I have today. If you want to guarantee success and you want to win in life, you need to focus on acquiring the skills and the knowledge that you don't currently have right now, right? There's a reason that there's people that are, make six figures, millionaires, billionaires, right? Those people didn't just end up there one day. They didn't stay the same from the time that they were like 20 to where they're at right now, right? It's the same thing with you as you make the transition. Maybe you're that person right now that's working for a company and you've had this thought in the back of your head, right? I want to go start my own company. I want to work for myself. I want to be self-employed. Do you have the knowledge or the skills right now? Are you working on those skills needed to manage people, right? Are you working on those skills needed to run your own accounting, run your own books as a business owner? Do you have those skills needed to understand, different tax avenues and, depreciation factors and, things that are basically going to save you money from there? Do you have the management and leadership skills if you're looking to hire on your employees, Because here's the thing, if you're an individual and you go and start a company tomorrow and you hire 10 people, but you don't have the leadership skills, you don't have the people skills, you don't have the ability to, kind of work through some of the tough situations that comes with employees, you're going to lose some great people. And it's not going to always be their fault. It's going to be your fault because you're not a leader. You didn't work on improving on your skills needed to be a leader before you were actually a leader ahead of time, and you're going to cause, like I said, people to leave your organization. They often say people leave organizations not because of the person, most likely, it's because of the leadership, right? And I've always taken that personal. Now, is there going to be some situations where you have people that naturally weed themselves out? Absolutely. But the way that I've always approached it is, how am I doing as a leader for these people? Because usually if you have a high turnover rate, if people are constantly leaving your company, your organization, and maybe this is you right now, maybe you own a company, and you're having a really hard time keeping employees, right? You're having constant turnover. That's like a revolving door. They're coming in and out. Have you sat down and really did a self-audit on yourself to establish, do you have the skills needed, right, to be a leader? Do you have them? Did you prepare for that before you actually went out and hired a bunch of people? Did you, work on self-development? Did you work on coaching, right? Did you get these things needed to be a manager? Did you gain the experience before you really threw yourself into that pit, right? It's the same thing with people that start to make a good living for themselves. They start to make a lot of money, right? We've all seen the people that, they have nothing and then they win the lottery, right? And the statistics and the odds say they're going to lose it all within 5 years. It's gone. Well, how is that, right? You just won 10, 20, $30 million and it's gone in 5 years. Well, why do you think that is? It's because they didn't understand how to budget. They didn't understand how to reinvest their money. They didn't understand. They weren't prepared, right? They didn't have the skills needed to actually ask for and receive that amount of money. And eventually they lost it all, right? It was gifted to them and they lost it all. It's the same thing with people, right? There's been studies shown basically where you go into a society, right? And you can hand everybody, you start everybody at ground zero, right? You got somebody that makes a ton of money and you got somebody that makes zero money, right? And you start them all out at ground zero and you all hand them all, $1,000. And they say the odds are that the people that were successful before, the people that were good with money before, the people that were wealthy before, that money ends up back in their hands because they understand how money works. They've developed the skills needed to ask and receive for that kind of security, when it comes to financial security. And so, I'd ask yourself, how are you currently holding yourself back right now, right? Are you constantly working on becoming the person you need to be to get to where you are, right? Who you are today, there's a reason why you are exactly where you are right now. It's in an effort of what the work you put in, the risk you've taken, the knowledge that you've acquired over the time, like I said, the dedication, the drive, the energy that you've put in. It's right where you are right now. That's how you got to where you are, right? Good, bad, it doesn't matter, right? But to get to where you're going, do you have the skills needed to get there, right? You have to think about this from a really logical perspective. Something is not just going to come tomorrow and switch and completely change your life, and you're all of a sudden going to be, uberly successful in whatever it is you want to do, right? Again, depending on what your goals are. If where you are right now, you're not mapping that out to get to where you're going, you're never going to get there, right? If your goal is, hey, I want financial freedom by the time I'm 50 years old, I want to make sure I have enough passive income coming in through active investments that's going to fund my lifestyle so that when I'm 50, I could choose to not work anymore, right? What are you doing right now to get there? Is it nothing? And why is it nothing, right? Is it because you don't have the skills or knowledge needed to get there? The first thing to understand is that's okay, right? Once you can acknowledge, hey, I don't really know how to get there. I know I want financial freedom, but me just sitting here and hoping that one day it's going to happen isn't going to make it happen for you. The reality of it is you don't know what you need to understand, or you don't have the knowledge needed to obtain that financial freedom. So what are you doing to get there, right? Are you working on acquiring those skills? Are you saying, okay, first things first, let's start at ground zero. What are going to be some of the best passive income investments? What do I need to start doing to get there? Who do I need to go learn from? Who do I maybe need to hire as a coach to get me these things that I want, right? You have to become what it is that you want.